Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you about Evil Dead 2, and I actually never seen this movie before. How amazing is that? How crazy is that? Maybe how shameful is that? I mean, I saw the first one and the Army of Darkness one, which is a shitty movie in my opinion. You get where he's Ash is this weird. They make him so comedical that he calls him his shotgun his boomstick, and then he kills a claymation thing that comes towards him with his boomstick. And no, it's the knights fighting the Deadites, but there's no real gore. It's more of an action adventure movie than something else, because the roots of Evil Dead were good. The movie was creepy with the budget they got. Special effects of gore and the Deadites were on par, with movies with bigger budgets. The atmosphere, the tension, the creepiness, everything was there. And Evil Dead 2 doesn't have tension, in my opinion, doesn't have atmosphere, in my opinion. There is the movie starts off with him driving with Linda, his girlfriend, who was also in the first one, but they're the only ones in the cabin, so they retconned his sister, who was in the cabin too, and the other couple. Okay, so he kills Linda because she's a Deadite, chops her head off with a shovel, and then he walks outside full of his clothes, face full of blood, but he didn't have any blood of killing. So that was the only person who he had to kill, apparently. And then we see what we, I believe, see in the first movie, the cliffhanger scene, where this unseen force is going toward Ash and kills and takes Ash. So then we see it taking him through the forest. He falls in a puddle of water. He gets up and he has a deadite face. But then he sees the sun, and things that he likes or something, or he enjoys, can make him go back to a human and not a deadite. And then he goes back to the cabin because he goes to his car, but the bridge is being destroyed, so he can't go back. And then he goes back to the cabin, and then you get this slapstick horror, which basically is okay. Linda comes back out of her grave. She's dancing and without a head, and then she puts her body to the ground, and her head rolls back on. So her head wasn't apparently, she wasn't buried too. I mean, did he just bury her decapitated body and leave the head there? It's pretty morbid, if I may say so, if it's your girlfriend. And she takes Ash, but then loses the head. She goes through the window, takes Ash, and she loses her head again. She falls down, and then for some reason he's now in a chair, and I thought his hands were bound. I'm not sure, because he was having trouble moving. And then the head of Linda falls in his lap, and I thought he's gonna bite his dick. I thought he's gonna bite his dick. No, it's just that, hello, lava, and she bites his hand, and he throws away the head. No, and he takes the head and goes to the shed, and in the shed he has this visor, where he can put the head in, and he clamps the head down, and then he's looking for a chainsaw, but then the decapitated Linda body is coming in with a chainsaw trying to attack him, but he just pushes her aside, and she chainsaws herself. And then of course Ash chainsaws his the remainings of his girlfriend's, meaning her head, right? So, and then you get that slapstick. So his hand is infected by the bite, and it's doing this, and punching him, and they're fighting with each other, and and then at some point he knocks Ash unconscious, and it's tripling towards a cleaver, a meat cleaver, to probably kill Ash. But Ash sees this, puts a knife in his hand through the floor. It's then takes the chainsaw, and he chainsaws his hand off, and then puts a he just tapes his arm off, and then he puts the hand in a bucket with some books on, so it can't leave. And of course it can leave because that wasn't strong enough to keep it there. And then you've got a few people that are coming, a few, let's say some kill fodder who's coming, a guy named Jake who put a sign on the bridge that you can't enter anymore, and his sister, girlfriend, or daughter, Billy Joe, I'm not sure. And then you have Annie Newby. Now, apparently Annie Newby and her boyfriend, I think it was, or her friend, is the daughter of Professor Raymond Newby. He was the voice that when they're playing the tape recorder and he's saying the chant, that's his voice. That's her dad. Okay. Because when she arrives at the cabin and they see a bloodied Ash, they wanna keep him locked up in the basement, and apparently they hear the tape recorder. They put the tape recorder on again, but there's a little bit more to it. He says, "I never should have done this. It's a mistake. Now my wife Henrietta, the mom of Annie, I buried her in the wine cellar." So of course, who's in there with Ash? Henrietta. Apparently, Henrietta was Ted Raimi. It's directed by Sam Raimi, but his brother Ted Raimi was in that suit. So that's a little fun fact. And yeah, you get the entire idea, get me out of here, and eventually they get him out of there, and you get that same scene where, in the first one, I think the sister of Ash is in the wine cellar, and they chain it, but she can open it like this, and then she becomes human again. "Please, Annie, let me out. I love you, my dear." And then she starts singing this, "Sleep, little girl, now go to bed, and then mom is gonna kill you another day," and then something like that, and she sees, and then it's the fucking dead again. And I'm not sure, man. It's to me it looked like it was a repeat of the first one, but with less. There was gore, but with less tension. The movie Evil Dead was tension, creepiness atmosphere, this cabin in the woods, that soundtrack of woo, and I mean the woods being alive, raping his sister, and then she becomes a fucking deadeye. That was so creepy. And then when they played the tape, that was really creepy. That he's playing this chant, and now in this movie he just goes and get a bottle of champagne, but the bubblies, and oh, tape recorder. Oh, oh, that's weird. We're chanting, and then he opens the bottle up, and then Linda gets, something goes through the window and takes Linda. Of course, she's the dead-eyed, but it retcons the first one for most of the part. The couple, her sister isn't in it, and then you have these Jake and Billy Joe. These are cardboard characters who become deadites. Then Annie is, her friend also becomes a deadite because he's being pushed into a glass frame in the wall. Then he becomes a deadite. He's levitating, and then you see the mom, Henrietta, in, like this, talking to them. Were you gonna join us? Join us, and we'll kill you, and then you are ours. Then you get that thing, that's the same thing that his sister did in the first one when she lets her face shown, and you see her fucked up face, and then she's levitating. You're all gonna die here tonight. And that was so much better done, so much creepier, and I'm not sure Ted Raimi wanted to go for that a little bit more. The thing is, he didn't make it like Child's Play 3, creepy, psychopathic killer doll, and then Bride of Chucky, creepy, psychopathic Joker doll, comedic doll. Also with Freddy Krueger, creepy killer. Then he becomes a member of the Looney Tunes because at some point he pulls that spike bit from somebody that's falling from a big height, and it's like a scene of what was it, Willie L. Coyote, or what's his name, the Coyote against the Roadrunner. It's exact that. I don't like that, and they didn't go full on the comedic route. They did the slapstick shit, and they did. But I do love horror comedies. Dale and Tucker versus Evil, I like that one. But they didn't have something before that was creepy and fucked up and gory and whatever. And Sam Raimi wanted, Ash to be this kind of Marvel hero almost, with a chainsaw attached to his hand, and the sawed-off shotgun, which he calls his boomstick. And Annie, and then we get that. The reason why he's in the Middle Ages, Annie opens a portal, and I thought, okay, she's gonna help him. No, she fucks him over because she opens a portal that brings him back to the Middle Ages, and then everything is closed off, and she dies eventually because she gets stabbed by I think the Jake deadite in the back, and then she gets up. She is still alive to do that last quote, and then she falls to, and then she drops her head, and she's dead. And then Ash goes with his car through the time hole, and fly in this desert area, and surrounded by all these knights, and I'm not sure. Evil Dead 2, a, a and even it got boring. It got boring. It was like, come on, man, make it a little bit more creepy. The first one was so creepy, so intense. Now I'm not a, I like the Evil Dead series. I'm not a fanboy, but it's like the Scream. I like the Scream series, but I'm a fanboy. Halloween and Friday 13th, but Evil Dead, I like it because what they did with the first movie, that was just creepiness in a bottle, lightning in a bottle, basically. And then they go this route where he, with the slapstick and the dark humor, and not really. Every hit Ash takes, he survives, so you don't have to worry, he's not gonna die. And that Billy Joe girl and Jake, they stay to the very end, and it's in the very end that they, I believe I think even, I'm not sure, Billy Joe, she comes back as Deadeye, and I think she stabs Annie, but Jake isn't. She stabs Jake accidentally because per accident, because Ash is again because he went to the woods and he becomes Deadeye again. He's trying to take Annie and kill her and join us. Then when he's in the house, he sees the necklace of his girlfriend. Again, he sees something he enjoys, he loved, and he's back to Ash. And of course, Annie wants to brain him with an axe. Of course, who wouldn't? And I think the final boss is the Henrietta Deadite, who transforms into this giant tentacle thing. Her head, her neck grows out like a tentacle, and her head is at the end of the tentacle, and she becomes really big and fat, and the acting wasn't really good. No, the acting in the first one was good. Ash was a normal guy who had to deal with a abnormal situation. He had to survive, or he'll die. Survive or die. He had only two options. So this movie, I'm not sure. I really am. Army of Darkness is completely shite to me. Sorry for the people who like it. Good for you. I respect that. But for me, my personal opinion is I don't like Army of the Darkness. But what I did like was especially the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is comedy horror, right? Where you had a good mix of really gory stuff, cool deadites, and Ash, of course, being the sexist, racist, fucked up old man that he is, and wants to fuck every broad that he sees. That's in his words. But it's fun. It's fun because they also refer back to I think Cheryl was his sister, and then we meet his dad, and his dad is also like Ash, being this cowboy like character. He's also because that Ash wants to be in the center of attention. Now his dad is the same, and he wants to be the center of attention, and they always Sorry, this it's a dead-eye's tail here. You see that? The dead-eye's tail. Oh, it's check out my my dog. I mean, but Evil Dead 2. Okay, what are the positives? Great special effects. Great special effects. Sorry, that's the only, and some cool gore. Bam. That's the only thing I can say that's good. Really. The negatives are not the best acting. The tension and the atmosphere and the creepiness is completely gone for me. I don't like the slapstick. I don't like the comedical things that are put in there. From going from Evil Dead 1, which is such a creepy movie, a horror movie by soul and by heart, then going to this movie. So I'm giving this one a 5. I actually want to give it a 4, but I'm thinking I'm going to get a lot of flack if I give it a 5. So yeah, I'm giving it a 5. You know, it's still Ash, Bruce Campbell. You know, it's directed by the legend. Sam Raimi is a legend. He's a legend in the movie making business. He likes to work with Ted Raimi. Well, you know, the Intruder, a slasher movie with Ted Raimi and Sam Raimi in that, and for a very short role, Bruce Campbell in it. So yeah, give it a watch. If you want, let me know what you think of it. Subscribe, click the subscribe button and like the damn video. Bye.